going on, everybody? It's Wesley Seeley, Shane Smith, Blitzburg Squad. Back at it again.
Yeah, had a nice little, I'd say it's a nice little break, but I think life kind of got busy there after football season.
Yeah, I was going to say, it kind of did, to be honest. We never got a recap of the Steelers season, but that's in the past. We don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about the negativities.
Left a bad taste in our mouth anyway, so.
We're here to do the positives and what's going to happen in the future and how much spicy stuff Wes is going to get to eat.
That's right.
None for me.
Oh. I was going to say, whoa. Nah, I'm cool with that. So yeah, we're gonna go over. We got the draft coming up next week. We're gonna go over we got separate mock drafts here. So we're gonna go through our picks, see who. I don't know who Shane's got. I really haven't looked at his list. I've got my list over here. We're gonna go through them kind of quickly, kind of touch on some points, and hopefully give everybody some insight on who the Steelers are gonna take. My list, but.
Oh yes, absolutely. But, yeah, we kind of did, so anywhere there's draft simulators. So we kind of both did some simulators and, just the way the cookie crumbled, which is honestly how I feel about this draft. Other than the first couple of picks, it's kind of up in the air where everybody, because a month ago, even a day ago compared to now, huge differences in everybody's mock draft. So I really don't know where anybody's going to end up.
Well, Justin Fields was going to go number 3, but he just came out and said he had he struggles with epilepsy. So now he's probably going to go drop to like 30 or something.
Yeah, number 24th pick.
It seems like there's always some kind of story that comes out right before the draft.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, look at this guy's tweet from 2010 when he was in high school.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, he was bad back then. He can't change, so let's drop him.
Exactly.
So
that's going to drop him to round 3.
Yeah, I mean, they say the epilepsy's under control, and it's definitely less and less. And I mean, he played football last year at a fantastic level with it. So I don't know.
It's probably not a factor. It's just funny that they even would come out with a story
right.
like that.
I mean, he just can't go clubbing with the teammates and pick up that huge tab. So I mean, it's a win for him.
Easy on the lights, 49ers. Easy on the stadium lights.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess we'll start with our first round pick. I didn't include any trades. Did you include any trading?
I have one trade. Okay. It's the third round. The only reason I did it is because it was too good to pass up. The Vikings wanted to jump up from 90 to 87. So we dropped down 3 spots, and they gave us the pick 168, and that was the only thing. So I was like, all right, that to me, I personally would do. So I did that one, but for the most part, I didn't try to do any other trades just because a lot of them included like next year's draft, and I was like, no, we're focusing on this year.
Yeah, and so the Steelers have, unless they decide to do anything crazy on that the first day, but they have picked number 24.
Yes.
Now I can kind of see it's got to go one or two ways. I'm sure we're both thinking the same thing. So let's hear your first pick at number 24.
Yes, with the 24th pick, the Steelers are taking Zach Wilson. No, he's gone. I tried. That was probably a draft about a month ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So in my mock, and many of them that I did, Najee Harris, who I think could fall to the Steelers, was not there. A couple of them I had Travis Etienne. A lot of people like him, and I do see his explosiveness. I don't know. I don't feel as confident about him as I do Najee. So because of that, and then it's come out since then that I've seen other mock drafts where this guy has fallen to the second and third round, so whether it's a good pick or not, I pick a center for our first round pick called Creed Humphrey. Pretty good pass blocker, good in zone blocking. I figure that would fit our scheme well. But his run blocking does need to improve. But he was ranked in a couple of things as like one of the top 24, anywhere from 24 to like 29 is what I've seen his overall ranking. But like I said, on some of the new mock drafts, even last couple of days, I've seen where he's lasted to like pick 62. So
nice. I'd be completely fine with that, honestly. Like we get to a spot where there's still a lot of solid linemen and still those top 3 running backs on the board. I mean, I'm completely cool with just pulling the trigger on one of the linemen, just stacking up on them because you can't go wrong with them. Obviously, your investment with a lineman is probably a lot better than a running back in the first round. So
we seem to draft linemen a little better too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think if the Steelers were to pull the trigger on something like this, I would feel a little better about that pick, just because we had Pouncey for years. We've had DeCastro for years. Foster, I believe, was drafted and not a free agent. We've had him for years. We drafted Villanueva,
Look at Dotson now.
Yeah, Dotson looks to be solid.
He looks to be promising. Yeah, I like that one. So my first-round pick, I do have Najee Harris. Now, I think the top 3 backs, Najee, Etienne, Javonte Williams, I'd be honestly, my preference is Najee, but if any of those 3 falls into our lap, I'm completely cool with that. And you got to take one of them, I think, here. You got to do whatever it takes to get one of those guys.
Get one of them, and here's where it's a little, like you said, we're not doing, early trades and stuff, and, and it's outside the Steelers realm. All 3 of them still available. You could get whatever running back you want, but the back end, a lot of them don't really need running backs.
Right.
If somebody was willing, the Bucs or somebody like that, there was another quarterback that had fallen and somebody was looking for it, I could see the Steelers dropping down 4 or 5 picks, adding another, 1 or 2 picks for the future, or even in this year's draft, and in turn still getting whichever one of the 3 they want, and I would be fine with that too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, is if you get to pick 24 and say even only one of them's off the board, say Miami takes Najee or Etienne or one of those guys, you still got the other 2 on the board. The Bucs maybe take one, kind of doubtful there, but really, like you said, there's really nobody on that latter half of that first round that's going to take one, or really is supposed to be taking one, unless they throw everybody a curveball.
Right.
I'd be okay trading with, I don't know, the Bucs, Green Bay, somebody just to get a little bit more capital, draft capital, and stack our picks, and still be able to get one of those guys in the, I don't know, later in the first or even early second there. So I'd be completely cool with that. But I've got Najee. I just think Najee's the better fit for us. Nothing, obviously, against Etienne and Javonte. Like I said, I'd be completely thrilled with either one of those guys. But I think Najee just has I don't know. I think maybe it's just Le'Veon Bell-esque a little bit, because he's got that patience. He's got that run style. He's not a breakaway speed guy. Bell wasn't either. But he's got the patience. He's got the running style. And he's a great receiver like Bell was as a running back. Yep,
I would agree with that. I like Najee a lot, and I would have taken him if he was here. But like I said, all of mine, up until literally my last one when we were waiting on stuff to download, Najee was not there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of been hit and miss on those draft simulators. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the second pick here. Who do you think you got?
Second pick, I think this would be considered a fall, so he kind of fell right into our lap. Offensive tackle, which they're saying he could be left tackle or a guard. 6'6", Dylan Reduns. Great run blocker, good power. Only concerns that people seem to have is quickness, misdirection, athleticism. So it seems like he's a bigger, stouter guy. It's just a matter of, quicker defenders. But everything I've seen about this guy and the tape that I've watched, I think he looks fantastic, and I think he would fit into our scheme very well.
Yeah, I would dig. I've seen Dylan Reduns on the list multiple times, and I've seen nothing but praise about him, and I think we have a tackle spot that needs filled.
Yep.
Big time, especially with Villanueva. Flipping Villanueva visiting the Ravens.
Yeah.
With or without him, I think we need one. But
I would agree.
Especially if he goes, holy crap, it's got to be 1 or 2. Top 1 or 2 picks there. Yeah, that'd be a solid pick. I've got, I think you pronounce it Quinn Miners, the center from Wisconsin Whitewater.
Okay.
Seems like a big physical guy. I think they said his stock really rose in the Senior Bowl. He balled out in the Senior Bowl and just showed his power, his lead blocking abilities, pass protection, and just his strength's unreal. I think he's only 6'3", so he's not super, super big for a lineman. But
sometimes those shorter guys have that big power, too.
Lower center of gravity or what? I don't know. But yeah, I'd be cool with that, because you got Pouncey. You need a need there. I don't think Finney's coming back and filling that need like they think, but
right, probably not Finney, and otherwise you got J.C. Hassenhauer.
Yeah,
and I don't want him.
Yeah, it's are we really comfortable with either of those guys?
No, not at all.
You have this guy come in here fresh, learn the system, in the off season, come in through training camp, earn the spot.
I'd feel pretty good.
I'd be cool with that.
So,
What do you got for number 3?
Number 3, this is where we drop from 87 to 90 in mine.
Okay.
You would think I'd go with a need. I'm going with, this one was more of what do I think the Steelers are going to take and not so much what the Steelers need because they're about what's the best on the board. I went wide receiver, Western Michigan guy, Dwayne Eskridge. Smaller guy, only 5'9", quick guy, great blocker, good return man. Their one complaint is they think he's only good for the slot, but we could probably use him in the slot. And it seems like once he gets out on space, he's not your Tyreek Hill, like he's going to burn you right down the field. But once he's got the ball in his hands, he can maneuver his way through people, and being a little bit smaller seems to help that. So took him. Probably wouldn't be an immediate starter with everybody that we have, but maybe for the future, nice little pickup for next season if we lose some guys.
Well, you think Ray only signed a 1-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
So if this guy would end up working out and only being a returner for now and
Right.
just functioning as that Ray role,
Exactly.
really, you know what I mean? That might not be a bad pickup. I've actually got one. This was on my draft results, so who knows if this would actually happen. I don't know if he would drop this far. But I've got Kellen Mann, the QB at Texas A&M, falling to us at 87. I don't know if he would fall to us there, but he did in the simulator, and I took him on here. I think he would just be an immediate upgrade definitely from Haskins, definitely from Dobbs, and I would assume Mason too. He's got like a flick of a wrist. Like his throwing action is it's strange a little bit.
Okay.
But it's just quick, and it's almost like he doesn't take it back all the way and just like flicks it. I don't know. Thing like flies like 60 yards, it's just a flick of the wrist. But he seems like kind of like an Aaron Rodgers flick, and I could see if he just gets his footwork down a little bit, and just a little bit more practice, a little bit more time, and everything around him. I don't know. I think this guy could be something special, and I think if you get him in the 3rd round, it's no harm in doing so, because you could have him sit around a year behind Ben, see if he can make that extra step towards next year, maybe being our starter. Might be the guy. Who knows? I don't know. But I like him. I liked what I've seen from his tape, and if he fell to us at 3, I'd be pretty cool with that. So.
Yeah, that'd be pretty nice. So we're into the 4th round, pick number 128. We have 2 in the 4th round. So pick number 128. You'd think at this point I've went offensive center, offensive tackle, wide receiver. You would think that I'm going running back here, right? Nah, why do we need that? Looking through some of the running backs that were there, they didn't seem to fit our scheme very well. It was a lot of speedy guys. You know, I feel like we got that last year. And, of course, I can't remember his name off the top of my head now.
Who, where?
Running back.
Oh, McFarland.
Anthony McFarland, thank you. And so I didn't want another...
The guy that trips over his own feet.
Yes, I didn't want another speed guy. I feel like we need a big, bulky guy if we want to run a 1-2 punch, or somebody who's overall. So I skipped out on running back at that pick, and then I took a corner, and I went Keith Taylor. From what I could see, he'd play outside. I feel like we need that we have that need, especially after losing Mike Hilton and cutting Steven Nelson. So this guy's got some speed, length, and he's physical. From the tape I've seen, he's really physical. Concerns, tackling. Not something you necessarily want to hear from the Steelers defense, but tackling, ball skills, not a great interceptor, but almost kind of reminded me of Ike Taylor, where he'll get his hand on the ball, but he's just not going to grab the ball.
Okay.
And sometimes he's too physical. So he got away with it in college, but I think PIs
grabby
would be, something that could possibly turn out against him. But, that's something that you could work through.
Yeah, okay. I dig it. We definitely need to address corner probably early. I would assume you got to think, I don't know, depending on what happened the first 2, you get a running back and tackle or center. Do they go maybe tackle or center with 3rd, unlike we did, and then maybe cornerback 4th or cornerback 3rd? Maybe they just jump right to it and see who's available. Mm-hmm. You definitely, I would think, need to address corner early, pretty early in this draft with what we lost.
Right.
2 out of our 3 tops, right?
Yeah, 2 out of our 3 top guys, which I like Cam Sutton.
I do too. I like Cam a lot.
My concern is Justin Laney.
100%.
And then you have behind him St. Pierre?
Yeah, it's like James Pierre-Louis or something.
James Pierre. I think he could be solid, and I do believe he's going to surpass Laney. It's just going to be a matter of, was 1 year enough for him being undrafted to learn everything? He is a lengthy guy, so I figured double down. We need the depth either which way, because if one of them goes out, then you're stuck with Justin, and I'm not comfortable with that.
Yeah. Part of me is like, I don't like Justin Lane, but part of me is just like, trade up or do whatever you have to do to get like one of the top, like, I don't know, 10 corners in this draft, if there is top 10, top 8, whatever. Just like get like a Caleb Farley or like, I don't know, because it's like, I feel like if you don't get one of the top guys, one of the top prospects, the Steelers are just like, I don't know, guessing. It's just a guessing game. I feel like they're just like, let's just roll the dice and just see like who we can land on. Like, whatever. Yeah, let's just try this guy. He just converted from wide out to corner. He's only been in the corner for 1 year. Let's just we'll take that guy.
Right.
It's like, I just don't get it. So I just don't want that to happen again. I feel like our corners we're so bad at drafting secondary, and
I feel like our worst thing is defensive backs. We're bad at drafting.
We are so good at linebackers. We're so good at wide receivers, and most of the time linemen. But secondary, we are trash. But anyways, yeah. Okay, so my 4th round pick, I've actually got Dylan Moses, linebacker out of Alabama.
Okay.
Middle linebacker, because I know we brought back Vince, which is good. We've got Spillane back. We're hopefully going to get a healthy Devin Bush back, which is all great. Really no depth because I haven't heard about Avery Williamson. Dylan Moses, to me, is kind of a thumper. He's not super quick, but I feel like he's got good instincts. Got very good play recognition, and obviously he just came from Bama, so he's probably like a flipping robot on defense.
Right.
But I think he'd be able to fill in, especially that Vince Williams Spillane role, to complement Devin Bush. Sorry.
Okay.
So that's why I got Dylan Moses as the 4th spot here.
Very nice. And so next one, our second one in the 4th round, pick 140. Now I finally take the running back. I found a running back I was happy with, right around where he's estimated to be drafted. I know it's only 12 pick difference, but I felt the corner was better off at that spot than this guy. Khalil Herbert. He's a running back out of Virginia Tech. Strong, big, bulky guy. He hits his holes well. Ball security. He holds on to the football. I like that a lot. Some of his weaknesses, passing game, not a super great passer. His elusiveness and cutting back, he can hit the hole and he can be gone. But whenever there's somebody in front of him and he tries to make a one cut or something, he looks very labored. So he's going to be like pound the guy, knock him over, or hit that whole wide open space and he's gone kind of guy. And I feel like that would fit our style a lot better than some of these quicker guys. So I felt at 140 that was a decent pickup, since I wasn't able to draft any of the top 3 guys.
Cool. Okay. I like it. I've got Rashad Weaver. He's an edge threat from Pittsburgh. This guy, from what I'd seen from his tape, he just kind of looked like not super fast, but kind of like Alex Highsmith, kind of like a power rusher. Kind of has a little bit of finesse to him, a little bit. I don't know, maybe I'm way wrong, but I just watched some tape on him, and that's what it seemed like to me. Probably just to go ahead and complement like a little bit of depth behind Highsmith and TJ for now, just for some depth, because you got those 2 as your starters.
Right.
We really don't have anybody else behind them, so
not a whole lot.
Marsh.
Yeah, maybe Marsh. Is Adenye still with us?
No, he went to Titans, I think.
That's what I thought. Yeah, he joined Bud.
Yep, he joined Bud.
Yeah, so we definitely don't have depth on that. So
no.
Something we'll need to address.
So I just figured, we'll grab Rashad in my simulator. He was there and available, so I went ahead and added to the edge threat.
Nice. This pick, 168, this is the one that I obtained from the Vikings. So Wes does not have this one.
I was going to say, what? I don't have that.
I took a quarterback here. Guy's name's Jamie Newsom. Says Georgia on the thing. Looks like he was from Wake Forest, is where most of his highlights came out of. Bigger guy, 6'3", 235 pounds. Had a lot of speed, strength. People were impressed with his size, and he had a lot of poise in the pocket, so he wasn't afraid about the pocket collapsing around him. So all of this sounds like pluses. There's a reason why, he's down into the 5th round, though. Accuracy, decision-making, progression. Not his strong suit. He's kind of, I look for my first or second guy, and then after that, he kind of starts to panic and looks to run, it seems. I think he could work himself out of that in the right situation. Whether we have the right quarterback coach or not, it's yet to be seen. But as a 5th overall pick, the 5th round pick for us, I felt that he was a decent pickup, and at the very least, I think he's better than Dwayne Haskins.
Is he like a scrambler? Is he like pocket passer?
More of a pocket passer, but he does have some speed to him.
Okay.
So I did watch some of his highlights. He did run in for some touchdowns. Can run the read option a little bit, but it seemed like most of the time he was they looked to have him throw first and then kind of run second.
Okay.
So which is more of what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want a Lamar. He fits well in the Ravens offense, but I don't want somebody like that in the Steelers.
Me either. Nope, me either. Okay, cool. I've got for my pick 216, I've got Cameron Bynum, cornerback out of California. So this guy I've seen kind of fall anywhere between like 4th and 5th round. But I don't know. I think from what I saw from his tape, very good at playing the ball. And I don't know. I kind of feel like he's a steal at where he's at. From what I saw on his tape, and obviously I know it's just highlights in the tape, but he just seems to play the ball well, seems to play the receiver well. Like is after the ball, he kind of plays the ball. He doesn't play the receiver more so, and that's kind of nice actually, especially if we transition to more man coverage with the guys that we have now in defense. So I'd be cool with having that guy come in, because I know, like I had said, I'd kind of rather just address corner early rather than later. But I feel like if you're going to go later, this is one of the guys I would go with. So.
Okay. Well, and at pick 216, I doubled up on corner. So okay. I went with Shamar Jean-Charles. Can't have a short name. We gotta add, Pierre, Saint Pierre or John's Pierre or however,
some hyphenated
to
name.
It. He's from Appalachian State, 5'10", good on the press, got great length, can cut wide receivers' angles pretty good. His struggles are transitioning, speed, and sometimes his hip swiveling. And because of his size, I don't think he would go outside for us, and I feel like I got the outside guy with Keith Taylor, so he would replace our nickel spot.
Okay.
And so he would either back up Cam Sutton if Cam's going to stay in there, or replace altogether the nickel, and Cam would be our outside guy. And I think he would have the potential to be able to do that, and, not going to be the next Mike Hilton, but
right.
At least be a stopgap there.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Pick 245, I went with Royce Newman. He's a tackle out of Ole Miss. I just figured doesn't hurt to get an extra tackle, because in this draft I only had center taken, and I know we kind of do need a tackle, but I kind of took one late here, and I just figured this was just going to be sort of for depth purposes, for if Banner gets injured again, or heck, if Villanueva comes back for us and he gets hurt, just some depth behind those guys. So this would be more of just a depth pick, not really a starter kind of guy.
Yeah, not a bad choice. I went middle linebacker here. I did KJ Brit out of Auburn, and I could be wrong in my notes. I could be getting them goofed up with my next pick. He's a middle linebacker. Might be able to transition to outside, but it looks like he's middle. If I did my notes correctly near the bottom part here, he's 6'6".
Wow.
So he's a giant as a linebacker. That seems wrong, but I'm going to go with it because it's written underneath his name. He's a big body guy, run stopper, got some heavy hits on him. Downside, he's his speed, coverage, and can sometimes get flat-footed. I know we like to put our linebackers out, our middle linebackers out in coverage, but I see him as kind of a Vince Williams replacement. Sit behind Vince, and then once Vince is gone, he kind of takes that role of being that run stopper, heavy hitter,
Right.
hit the gap, and leave Devin Bush to kind of roam the field around there. And I felt he was a decent pick as a 7th rounder.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Sweet. Okay, so as my last pick, I know you got one more, right?
Yep,
'Cause you
one
did your
more.
trade. I've got at 254, I've got Jalen Darden, wide receiver out of North Texas. So this is kind of the guy I kind of picture as the new Ray Ray.
Okay.
He's kind of shifty, kind of electric, kind of could take over returns, end arounds, anything slot, kind of just a smaller, agile kind of dude. From what I've seen, at least. So I think he'd kind of just fill that role. And with Ray Ray only getting a 1-year deal, like maybe he shines and gets another deal with us or something else. But a guy like this could come in on a rookie contract and fill the role, I think, just as well. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you don't need to pay a major return guy, that's for sure.
Yeah,
So.
especially if that's all we're using him for.
Yeah. My last pick, and I picked him in just about all of them because I really like this guy. And a lot of people say he could go undrafted, but just kind of for depth, his name's Larnell Coleman, offensive tackle out of Massachusetts. He's going to be a left tackle or right tackle. From everything I've seen on it, he has the size, the skill, the athleticism. He's got all the tangibles of being a starter or a very, very competent backup tackle. It's just he hasn't done it long enough, and he's got stiffness, not working downfield, a little off balance. And to me, those are going to be big negatives if you're thrown into the starting role immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a good offensive lineman coach in your system, as every team should, you can work with him and make him become a starter in 2 or 3 years and be a solid starter. Because, if you have the just raw athleticism to become something good and you just have to fine-tune your work, I think this guy can do it. And honestly, this is probably my most exciting pick, even though it's the 7th rounder, just because for me, listen, I don't get paid what these analysts and all of that do, but I think at 254 he's a steal, even though a lot of people are saying that he's like the 261st overall, which would put him at undrafted, I believe. And so I think if we got him just off of raw athleticism, we could use him as a swing tackle,
cool.
or something like that, even just to see some time on the field and see what he can do.
Nice. Sweet. Well, that's my picks. That's your picks. I like it. I would say one other thing I wanted to add, too, that I don't have some guys on my list, but some other guys that I really, really liked were Tommy Tremble, tight end from Notre Dame. Super good run-blocking tight end. Could definitely be fullback/tight end. And a couple safeties, that Talanoa Hufanga from USC and DeMar Hamlin from Pitt. Both of those guys I could see filling a role for us, only because if you drop, I don't know. I don't know if Marcus Allen, is he returning for us?
Good question.
I don't even know.
Couldn't tell you.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, because if you throw in Talanoa or you throw in that DeMar Hamlin, you throw them in at the linebacker spot, or drop them back to safety and throw Terrell in the linebacker spot or the hybrid spot, I think that just adds so much more depth to our defense and more coverages you can throw in and more athleticism. So I would dig a pick like that if you're not going to go corner. So just a guy.
Wes likes Hufanga.
I do, man. There's so many similarities. USC, long hair, Hawaiian, training with Troy.
I was going to say, if
Looking
y'all
for a
haven't
fifth.
figured out, it is a Troy Polamalu lookalike, and they are training together.
It's just the similarities are freaky, man. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and he's predicted, what, like 3rd, 4th
I
rounder?
think like 3rd or 4th.
I mean, if you could get a Polamalu lookalike just for the simple fact of a lookalike, I'd be fine with that.
If he's training with Troy. I thought from just looking at his highlights, he played like Troy. And maybe I just saw that because it was like, he's got the hair. He's from USC. Maybe I just saw that. But then I found out he's training with him. I was like, dude, there's something to be said there. I like it.
I'd be fine with it.
I'd be cool with it too.
So, yeah, I mean, my draft wasn't super flashy. A lot of offensive linemen, 3 picks on that, a quarterback in the Wakes, a couple of corners. but it's stuff that I feel like we needed for sure. Whether they pan out or not, that's why they call it the draft and not a guarantee. And
yeah.
It'll be interesting, but I don't know. I think I'd feel more comfortable, one of the guarantees like Najee or a tackle or something like that in the first round, just for the simple fact of, here's something I could see the Steelers doing. If the Steelers do this, Wes and I both, we have more hot stuff. We will both take, I don't even care how many licks off of the sucker called Satan.
Toe of Satan.
The toe of Satan. Steelers with the 24th overall pick takes a linebacker.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, dude, okay.
I could see it.
Listen, hold on one second. I would be okay with it.
Oh, no.
Only if it was that Amora Juramusu Koromora, the guy from Notre Dame. Have you seen that dude?
I've seen his name a couple of
Oh,
times.
Lord have mercy. The dude's legit stud.
Our luck, though. It's going to be Micah Parsons.
Oh, gosh.
Off the field issues.
I've
just
seen,
what we want.
From the simulators, though, I've seen the Koromora kind of fall maybe 1 out of 10 simulations, but the Zaven Collins, have you seen him from Tulsa? He's fallen to that spot a couple times. Dude looks super legit.
Mm-hmm.
He's 260 pounds, a giant, and can run fast. Scary. I don't want to see a linebacker, but if one of those guys falls, you think they got to be what do we do?
It would probably be something we would do. Because the other thing, and I wouldn't be horrible at this either, and I don't remember which draft he fell in, that Jalen Phillips, that edge rusher, which he's projected to be a top 10 guy, and he's the number 1 overall pass rusher in the draft. He fell in one of my drafts to where I could have picked him up.
Wow.
And so that'd be okay, but I will still lick the toe of Satan because that's just crap.
I know. I don't really want to see that. I wouldn't be super mad if it was either one of those two guys, Zaven or that Koromora. But otherwise, yeah, Mike Parsons, please no. Keep him far away from the Steelers.
Yeah, give him the brands.
But you know what's funny, though? This draft, out of at least the last, I could be going way further back, but I just think in the last 3 to 5 years, no draft has been more important than this one. And I only say that because you look at our flipping cap space this year. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So we weren't able to do much in free agency. You got Ben on probably his last year.
I was going to say, the way his contract's set up, next year, everything's voidable.
Yeah. So you figure this is most likely his last year.
Yeah.
I feel like we've got to hit a home run on at least the top 3 picks, hopefully 4.
Right.
But this has got to be one of our best drafts in recent years.
Has to be. I mean,
we've got to hit.
and sure, they're not going to be, the sexy picks, but
you're right. No.
If you could get a line that keeps Ben upright, and some of them, I'm not worried just because of how fast Ben's been getting the ball out of his hands. I'm not worried if they struggle in pass protection because of how quick he's getting it out. If they can run block, that's going to be important to me because they're driving their feet, they're pushing down, and that's opening up that run game for us, for Ben to be able to throw it more.
Yep.
Getting the running back that, who knows? Maybe they want to run with Benny Snell and Anthony McFarland.
Maybe.
I don't know. Getting a corner to, that's decent enough to stopgap, something.
Yep. I'd hope we're able to accomplish those 3. I would say those are the 3 biggest needs.
Right.
Center, tackle, one of those, or both, if not. Running back, corner.
Right. And, like I said before, if there's 3, 4, 5 guys when the 24th pick comes up that you're all right, we have no issues going with, and somebody, like you said, the Packers or something like that wants to move up, I'm fine trading back and getting, like you said, extra assets, even if they're 5th, 6th, 7th round picks this year.
Yeah.
To go from 7 or 8 picks to 10 or 12 picks for this year, just because then the likelihood of us actually hitting on something really raises up.
Yeah, 100%. I agree, man. I'd be cool with that. It'd be interesting to see. We got next week is the draft, so
yep.
I guess we'll see how that goes and see if any of our picks are correct.
It's a tough one.
It is a tough one, man. It's it could go anywhere, any which direction either. So I don't know. I just hope we hit on it, man.
Yeah, that's the important thing. Got to hit on something.
All right, man. You got anything else to add to this for your draft picks?
Just excited to get this going.
Yeah, right. It's kind of the kickoff sort of the football season for us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of exciting time and exciting to see what we do. So
yes.
Sweet. All right, well, thanks everybody joining us, and hopefully you guys will be tuning in for the draft and checking out the picks for at least day one. Those are most exciting, I would say.
Yes.
That couple days after, you start to kind of lose a little bit of like.
I was gonna say by
attention
Saturday
span.
it's kind of like, well,
Okay.
they're flying through 'em.
Yeah.
Friday night I'll definitely watch
Yeah.
at least the second round.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But first
second
round
and
pizza,
third, probably.
wings.
There we go.
Stay up till 1:00 in the morning.
There you go. Now we're talking. All right. Well, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Until next time, go Steelers.
Here we go, Steelers.
Right.